Jinxi's smiling. Yes. It's not her lack of EQ, but rather this is primal, this is primitive. This is her neuroscience of fear taking over. Hello friends, my name is Benoit Kim, a licensed psychotherapist and your favorite yapper. Welcome back. The cliffhanger in last week's episode with Xiaolan getting in trouble, dropping those blocks of ice. Let's see what's in store for us today. Assassination Zero, Helix Seed, and Genie Chimaru are the founding sponsors here. Thank you so much for your support since day one, seriously. Shout out to every single YouTube family and patron folks out there. Much appreciated. Sit back and help you enjoy. Let's see how Mao Mao, oh sorry for hitting the camera, already getting too excited with my foot. Let's see how Mao Mao and Luolan, or as I've been suspecting, Shisui, will rescue their new best friends. All right. Oh, Jinxi and they're watching, right? I mean, I don't think he knows, or even Gao Shan, I don't think they know the relationship between Mao Mao and Xiaolan. Maybe they do, since, you know, Jinxi has very watchful eyes. He is watchful for anything and anyone that's related to Mao Mao, his beloved. So we'll see if they interview. Mao Mao! Oh. Of course, ice was extremely precious because they did not invent refrigerated technology yet. So this is a big ordeal, big transportation, big cargo of an asset they were transporting. So this is a big deal. And traditionally and historically, when a laundry girl like Xiaolan makes such a mistake, she's rightfully so, get fired on the spot. But of course, here, not quite rightfully so, because Xiaolan has the plot armor and the support of Mao Mao, our MC. And who has the support of Mao Mao, our MC? Our crown, frog, moon prince, Jinxi, baby. I feel like the title for Jinxi just getting louder, getting longer and louder and longer and longer. All right, we shall see. Yes. You could buy a person with it. Oh, Mao Mao. Oh, thought she was gonna get on her knees. There's no, you can't make this up. This ice happens to be for Luolan. Luolan's not gonna fire or punish Xiaolan. Anyway, all right, let me. You have a lot of connections, Mao Mao. That's true. Hmm? This is significant. So obviously Eunuch is pissed off. He's so pissed and angered, frustrated and helpless that he literally threw his hat on the ground, as if throwing his hat in the ring on the ground is like a sign of forfeiting, giving up. That is how desperate the Eunuch feels. And Eunuch was yelling at Xiaolan because he's the lowest ranking of the laundry girl. But Mao Mao, obviously we can't tell from his attire because of the setup, but as many of us established, that her outfit represents the outfit of a lady in waiting, of a concubine. In that case, Mao Mao is not lower than the eunuch. So they're at least equal footing, equal ranking. If not, Mao Mao might even be higher. That's why eunuch is more understanding. He's not yelling at Mao Mao, and he's even accommodating and say, hey, you do whatever you want. This is our last shot. We'll see what happens within an hour. So even this, although Mao Mao, as we know, she's not under the cover, but her real prestige and her real lineage and ranking has not been revealed yet, relating to obviously Lacan But even her disguised ranking is still not that low because she still serves one of the 4 upper first rank, Lady Yokyu. Not to mention Jinshi, which a lot of people don't know the connection of. So even this is only possible because Mao Mao's ranking is higher than Xiaolan, and she's not a laundry girl, but rather a lady in waiting. And this is the importance of ranking, social caste system, historically and culturally. Ranking was everything. Prestige was everything. Influence was everything. Do not judge a book by its cover was not a concept back then. I mean, even now, of course, a lot of us are judgmental and many of us judge a book by its cover. I, for one, hey, I'm all about compassionate, non-judgmental approach in my clinical therapeutic containers. But in real life, with especially books, especially hardcover books, I do judge a book by its cover. Sorry, not sorry. Because hey, aesthetics matter, enticing matters, right? But of course, I'll flip through it and look up the synthesis and all that. But the point is, back then in China, historically, everyone judged their books by their cover metaphorically because your outfits, the pin, what you wear, the makeup, the perfume, all those were behavioral cues and signs, the signaling of your rank. And that's all that mattered back then. It is what it is. Jinshi's smiling. Yo, Jinshi's smiling because like, hey, come to me. He's just eagerly waiting for Mao to request for his help. And Jinshi's just waiting that, hey, I'm here. Just reach out, talk to me. I got you. But don't forget, now you owe me again. Obviously, this is a continuation of the subtle tension and the bittersweet bitterness from that frog incident, right? Xiaolan. Xiaolan froze. She was paralyzed because remember our 4 primary fear responses: fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. Here, Xiaolan was displaying her freeze response. She froze. She probably was unable to think. She's absolutely paralyzed out of fear because she was already super scared with that bathhouse episode. That lingering fear continues because she does not have the masseuse job until it's confirmed. Here, that fear comes back again. And this is existential. This is potential life and death. Remember what she said, a girl like her with no influence, no connection, what can she do after her service term ends? That's why she's absolutely terrified. She does not know where her future lies. Who am I? Where am I going? Will I have a future? That tremendous weight of uncertainty, the great unknown. That's why she couldn't move. She couldn't even talk. Look at Jinshi's smile, dude. Episode 39, ice. In kanji, the first one says bing, that's literally ice, and the second one it's kanji, it's like Cantonese. It's hard for me to understand, but it could be like a fruit. But yeah, it does ice. But the actual kanji means a little bit more than just ice itself, based on the direct translation. We shall see what this episode entails. Oh, Xiaolan, she got you. Don't worry. Oh, quick, doctor. Oh man. Got distracted. Oh, you see hairpin. What was it? I was just talking about this is, I don't know if this episode is a direct continuation from the bathhouse episode, but remember, Xiaolan's right now the biggest fear is where is she going? Where is her future? Does she have a future? That's why she was admiring the hairpin, which represents a potential job offer. And that's so she got distracted. It was a misstep. Not because she's careless, but because she cares too much about her future. It's the idea that we only feel anxiety, we only feel anxious over things that we deeply care about. Whether it's public speech, we only feel anxious about public speaking because we care about the performance, the delivery. We don't really get anxious when we talk to a stranger on the street, do we? Of course. A smaller subset of us who struggle with social phobia, social anxiety, of course they do. That necessitates and constitutes their social and mental health condition. So that aside, for generally speaking, for most of us, we don't. Why? Because it's not a high stakes situation. We don't really care about the opinions of the strangers that we walk past in the street that we will never see again. But for public speeches, we do, because there's care. We care about how we show up for our boyfriend, girlfriends. We care about the text. We try to be meticulous, methodical. We scrutinize over everything we text, etc., etc. Why? Because we perceive it as a high stake, because we care. We only feel anxious over things that we care about. Here, this is, like I said, not literally life and death, but low-key life and death for Xiaolan. That's why she's tremendous. She deals with a lot of anxiety. She cares a lot. And even here, through proxy of that, Mao Mao feels anxious and nervous on behalf and for Xiaolan, because Mao Mao cares for Xiaolan. This is not just another random laundry girl. This is Mao Mao's best friends in the real palace.
あれからもシャオランはつて探しに勤しみというが暗い顔一つ見せたことがない。
Sold off by her parents. Oh man. As we know, Mao Mao and some of the female characters we've seen in terms of their background upbringing are only a glimpse, tip of an iceberg, representing and encompassing thousands of other women in the real palace who represent similar trauma and horrible trauma, being sold off to slavery, workforce, child labor, sold off by our parents. It's tough. I think so many of us get caught up in the suffering and the pain of our lives, imperfections in our societies, whatever. And of course, all that's valid, full stop. And we forget how far we have come. And of course, sure, we're the West and this is the East. It's not the same, but still, regardless, whether it's North America, whether it's Europe, whether it's Asia, we have come light years away from the society that we used to have, the culture, the history that we used to share. Case in point, it was bleak back then. Like, especially now in the US with Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, whatever, there's so many Western shows, and we kind of glamorize the Western days, like the cowboy days, the Wild West, the gold, the oil, right? But we forget how easy and how cheap and how undervalued human lives were back then. Human lives were nothing but labor, assets to be possessed and robbed back then. Sure, you can say that some of that persists to today, but it's not the same. At least we have the legalistic and moral framework at large to tip that balance. But back then, there was no such thing as balance. The progress, y'all. Sad. She froze. Yep. Jinshi's still smiling. He's just waiting for her Mao Mao to ask. There we go. Here we go.
何か用か調理場と材料を貸していただけませんか随分わがままだな見返りは
He's sparkling. How brazen.
こちらには時間がないんだ
Jinshi, careful. Careful. Mao Mao is a cat. You push her too hard, you push her too many buttons, she'll bite your ass.
私がジン様に与えられるものはございませんでも貸してください分不相応にも程があるがそんなことは言ってられない
Jinshi got you, Mao Mao. He sighs.
やらかしたことではないだろうそうですね
Oh.
だけだそれだっておやつを土産にやっていたので貸し借りはない
But she cares.
悪いのでそうか寝覚めが悪いかはいその日の仕事に差し支えますそれは困るな
I wonder if he sees a part of himself in her in this moment that Jinshi cannot afford to be authentic and fully expressive of how he feels, who he is, the secrets he harbors, the burden that he carries. Here, again, two possibilities. One, Mao Mao is just awful and she struggles to truly, authentically, in a forthcoming manner, express how she feels about Xiaolan. That, hey, she's my best friend. I care deeply for her. That's why I cannot sleep at night. It's not out of obligation, but it's out of friendship. I love her. I care about her. Remember, love is a choice. Love is a commitment. Love is much beyond the superficial neurotransmitter, fleeting chemicals that we call being enamored, infatuated, right? Love hormones. All that matters. But we humans, we're not just materialism. We're not just a body comprised of different neurocircuitries in our minds, in our brains. No, we are much more than that. We comprise of minds and a body. For me, as a practicing Christian, I believe also the soul, right? But regardless, even if you're not spiritual or religious, we're much more than just organs, right? What is a brain? We often forget brain is an organ. It's simply just an organ, just like our hearts. It does not have a mind of its own. Yeah, how do we think? How can we talk right now? How are you guys enjoying this? How are we deriving meaning out of this great art that we call anime? It's not the brain, it's our minds. Again, this could be a 4-hour yapping. Sorry, thinking about a 4-hour video on a 20-minute episode made me chuckle. I will not do that to you guys. But to even differentiate the minds and separate that from our brain will take another 4 hours. And again, this is not a neuroscience, obviously epistemology. What does that mean? This is not the place. But the point is, Jinshi laughed out loud because oh man, mama, you're saying that you want to help her and you're requesting and pleading for my help because this is going to impact your productivity the next day. That's why he's laughing out loud, right? But again, it could be a display of mama's genuine struggle based on her possible neurodivergent traits, or mama thinks packaging her request and her plea in a more productivity work related packaging for Jinshi, who is her boss, might give her some leverage, and this might be more fruitful for this request. Because remember, Mama said, I cannot give you anything in return, but I need this. I need to make this request nonetheless. So this could be Mao's packaging in a professional manner, or it could be both, right? It could be and or her neurodivergent traits showing through. But regardless, the bottom line is Mao cares deeply, and Jinshi's laughing out loud because he knows that she cares for Xiaolan, not just about the productivity the next day. And I think part of him laughing is, I wonder again, can he see himself, his struggle and her struggle in this effort? Very wholesome.
では条件をつけよう。
おお。
人の話は最後まで聞け。
When someone is talking to you, let them finish and pay attention. Yo, Jinshi. Yo, so funny. Jinshi's not letting it go. Jinshi still holds grudges after he gave her most beloved, precious ox. This is what he was referring to. I am dead. That's fair.
そんなこともできないの。
Yeah. Do the bare minimum, mama.
なら別の条件にしよう。何がいいかな？頼るか。いや、ローラン妃のことで頼るわけには。
Yo, politics. Oh, nice catch. You have so many hairpins. Yeah, I literally just said you have so many hairpins from the garden party. That's a deep callback, yo.
まさか売り払ってないだろうな。売っていません。今はまだ。
Not yet. Mama's not wearing any of the hairpins that he got from Golden Retriever Li Haku, Lady Yokyu, Lady Li Hua, Jinshi, right? It's too many. Remember, wearing the hairpin means explicitly announcing the allegiance that you swear by, right? And because, again, remember, what is Mama allergic to? The two greatest things that Mama is allergic to: one, Jinshi's touch, and two, politics. So her not wearing any of her accessories is her allergies and her hyper vigilance and her being overly cautious. Actually, no, it's not overly. Because again, her survivor is at stake. Wear that. Ooh la la. I'll tell you about all my secrets.
調理場だな。
Jinshi's getting shy. He couldn't even face Mama when he said that.
持ってきたぞ。そこに置いてください。わかった。
ママはこれ砂糖と果物と牛の乳
Oh, she's gonna hasten the process of creating ice?
そんなのがあってよかった。牛の乳は特に腐りやすいし。
Fresh milk.
本当に氷菓子
Precious
み
too.
たいなのができるの
多分ね。作ってるとこを一度見ただけだけど。
頼むぞ。本当に。
できたらお呼びしますから。これかき混ぜて。
Oh.
何してるの
氷を砕いてる。
こんなにちっちゃ
大丈夫。
Yep.
これでよし。
I made ice cream like this
シャオラ
before in an
ン、そっち
expedited
の
way.
器中に突っ込んで。
Hi.
嘘固まってきてる
シャオランは果物切ってちっちゃくね。
This is a great cooking technique too, right? Man, Mama the chef.
ねえねえこれって
見ての通り。
Ice treat in Korean called pingsu. Pingsu, it's like those shaved ice. Obviously a super popular Korean treat, but of course Japanese has their own, Chinese has their own version as well.
まあ
Pingsu.
9大点か。もっと時間があれば卵を入れたり。
Yo, so gourmet.
味見って必要じゃない
Bro,
調
Xiaolan.
子が戻ってきたな。
Yo, Xiaolan, come on. What are we doing, huh? You already forgot that terrifying fear? At the end of the day, Xiaolan is just a little girl, right? Can't blame her. Aww.
なんだ。本当に大丈夫。
何か問題ありますか？
And I guess the original intention for the ice was for their treats anyway for Luolan. So in that sense, this delivers their expectations and exceeds it. It supersedes it rather. Right? So best of both worlds.
わかった。
Nice. It's more delicate. It's the delicacy factor. Will this work?
ローラン妃が気に入ってくれるかな。
I wonder if Luolan absolutely loved this so much and she asked where did this ice treat Pingsu come from? And the eunuch and whoever else was involved talks about Mao Mao because they're not gonna lie to Luolan, especially with this accident. And I wonder if this is all foreshadowing and seed planting for Luolan to summon Mao Mao and for Mao Mao to talk to Luolan directly as another setup to further reveal about who Luolan is. Or am I getting too ahead of myself? Anyway, we shall see. Aw,
ジンシ
they're
様から
back.
好き嫌いの類は
That's the key. Yes, Jinshi helped Mao Mao by giving her a kitchen and these very, very precious ingredients. The peaches, the fresh fruit, the fresh milk. Super precious ingredients. Yes, that's one on the surface. But the true help, the true leverage point that Jinshi gave Mao Mao is the intel. Remember I kept talking about throughout the series? The asymmetry of information asymmetry. The uneven balance of information access creates privilege or lack thereof privilege. Access and lack thereof access. Here, Jinshi told Mao Mao about what Luolan likes, like sweets, like ice treats, which inspire Mao Mao with this last minute brainstorming creativity. What does that say? Even with the kitchen, even with all this, none of this will be possible. Mao Mao could not have helped out Xiaolan without Jinshi's intel, which empowered Mao Mao for this inspiration. Information is power. This is what that means. Information is power.
それより溶けちゃう前に食べようよ。
そうだよ食べよ
Wait,
う
what?
おしそえ。
What
な
the?
んでここに？
なんか騒
Where
が
did
し
she
かった
come
から
from?
仕事放り出して来てしまいました。
ろくでもないね。
Yo.
出てこないでよ。
I mean, based on my theory, this is literally for her. I mean. I'm telling you, Luolan is hiring more and more ladies in waiting in her pavilion because she can sneak out more. So she can play pretend and maybe be more her authentic self. And again, I think one of the biggest mysteries of the second half of the series for me is what is and who is the real characteristics and the real character profile and the real personality of Luolan, the concubine of 1,000 different faces. Aww. So wholesome. Yes, the ice treat might be sweet, but you know what is even sweeter? Their friendship, baby. You know, there's wish ship, there's starships, there's battleship. But the best ships are friendships. Guys, I know that was so cheesy, but it's true though. This episode is about friendships. Just like that bathhouse episode.
もう一回くらいなら作れるかな。
Oh, one more batch. Aww. Oishi desu.
はい次。止水。
Aww. Quick comment about social reciprocity, a term I shared before, right? Definition right here. Remember, on the surface, social reciprocity is our humans' innate ability to reciprocate social stuff, whether it's favors, trades like, you know, give and receive. And that's the thing. If you really think about it, most of our friendships and human relationships in the beginning, I don't want to say it started as transactional, but it started as giving and receiving, asking for a favor. I show up for you, you show up for me. Maybe for a tennis club, right? You reserve the court, I reserve the court next time. Maybe for a school project, you join my project, you help me out this time. I help you out with giving my class notes, workplace. The example is going on and on. But over time, these more superficial relationships deepen over time through history, time, commitment, and the choices we make accumulatively. Remember what I said, love is a choice. Love is a commitment. That is true for family. That is true for spouses, boyfriend, girlfriends, parents, best friends, etc. What am I trying to say? I think there is some of us, again, I don't want to generalize, but some of my clients struggle, where they struggle with this idea that human relationships is give and receive, not give and take. And this is not just semantics, it's the intention. Taking implies the intentionality that it's about extracting. It's about transactional. Receiving implies the intention of we feel like we deserve to be cared for, we deserve to be loved, we deserve to be taken care of by other people. Why? Because we're also giving. And a lot of my clients are givers. They're so good at giving excessively, incessantly. Yet they're awful and they really struggle at receiving because deep inside, they struggle with their self-love, self-worth. They don't think that matter. So they don't think they deserve to be helped. So that's give and receive. So metaphorically, I want you guys to think about this analogy. Social reciprocity, or this in the beginning superficial give and receive relationship, is like a runway for the airplane. Can the airplane take off without a runway? No. And what does every airplane do in the beginning? It starts to do planes drive down? What's the verbiage to describe airplanes going down the runway? Anyway, when airplanes going down the runway in the beginning, initially it's slower. It's simply moving at a reasonably slow pace until all the airplanes clear the way, right? Until the flight control tower gives them the okay to take off. But eventually it accelerates and gets faster and faster, and boom, it takes off. It launches, it departures. That runway is a social reciprocity. And the airplane taking off is a deepening of that relationship. And it goes from a relationship or a acquaintances or interaction or reciprocal relationship to friendship. That's what happens between Mao Mao and Xiaolan. And that's how most of our relationships happen. So it's up to us. Are we going to judge these situations as transactional and we resist? Like, no, this is not genuine. And remember, only we know what the intentions are. Or are we going to widen up our horizon and understand that, oh yeah, this is one of those mechanisms that allows deeper human relationships to blossom and happen. But for a flower to blossom, what does it require? Planting the seed, watering the soil. Does that make sense? Right? Anyway, it's very significant why that monologue and the flashback about Mao Mao earlier, thinking back to, oh yeah, Xiaolan in the beginning was just a source of my gossip. I gave her snacks in return, so I owe her nothing. But she still pleaded. She still advocated and helped out Xiaolan because of everything I just talked about.
あら動いたわ
Oh, baby's moving. I guess we still don't know if it's going to be a crown prince or princess. But again, I feel like with all the mystery and all this, I feel like the chance of it being a prince is pretty high. Being a boy. Oh, Mao Mao Square. Ling Li. She's so cute. She looks just like Lady Yoku. Aww. Well, her eyes are crazy. Yo, what is it, the abyss of the ocean? Aww. Aww. That is a cute ass baby, dude. Or
人魚の
child.
時と違って下ばかり蹴ってるの下 赤
Down?
子のうちから個性が出るのね
Hmm? Uh-oh. What does that mean? The baby's kicking downward? Downward, what does that mean? That maybe the baby's position in the pregnancy is like upside down. Maybe there's a risk. And maybe the baby's being strangled by the umbilical cord. Because Mama seems concerned. And remember, she has a lot of Western and Eastern knowledge from her father. Not Luolan. Luomen. Because remember, she seems concerned. Okay, let me zip it up. Let's see.
少し触れてもよろしいでしょうかええいいけど失礼します
Uh-oh, what's going on? Oh, that's a look of concern.
リンリー姫の出産はどうでしたか
安産だったわよ。ウィーザンとは思えないくらい。
Okay.
この子の体が小さかったのも幸いしたのかしら助産はどなたが
私がやりました。ここの医官は頼りないし、助産のため
Respect.
に雇った女官は体調を崩してしまって、
Hmm.
勉強していたからなんとかなったけど。
では今回もその女官に
いいえ、また大事な時に体調を崩されてはたまらないわ。リバ妃の時も別の方が入ったそうよ。もともと臨時で高級入りした助産師だったの。
そうです
This is all because of trust issues and the potential assassination, the sabotage, because again, knives are sharp, y'all, in the real arena, the political arena, in the real palace.
今回も高級の外から迎えるんだろうか前回立ち会ったとはいえ本ニャン様も本業ではないし
True.
何かあるなら言ってちょうだい
Yeah, let's go. Let's hear it.
断言はできませんが逆子かもしれません
Breach delivery?
はいリンリー姫の時上ばかりを蹴っていたなら頭が下にあったはず
Yeah, because your
一
heads
番
must.
大き
Yeah.
な
Yep. Yep.
逆に細い足から出てしまうと出産の危険性が一気に増してしまうのです
This is crazy. Oh my god, is this gonna demand C-section? Holy crap. I got goosebumps, dude. What the heck?
促進すればわかるかもしれませんが
Freaking OBGYN? Mao Mao? Mao Mao, you good? How many more hats are you gonna wear? Are your shoulders tired? Is your back okay? From carrying all these different hats? Yo, chill out, mama. My goodness.
できるの
Come on, they need her father.
親父から教わったのは薬の知識だけだ。あとは見よう見まねで。
やってちょうだい
Also, can we talk about Mama's exceptional otherworldly attention to details? What kind of a brain, what kind of a prolonged and sustained focus and cognitive functioning that Mama has for her to pick up from this very innocuous passing thought of, oh, I think it is kicking downward, unlike Lingli. That's all Lady Ryukyu said. That is all she said. And Mama freaking zones in and double clicks and hones in on that thought. It's like, wait, hold up. Concerning. Let me examine it real quick. Mama, I've been drinking your Kool-Aid since season 1 because you're exceptional. But please, chill out. I've been drinking so much Kool-Aid, I might drown. Right? It's like, geez. And maybe this is a setup and foreshadowing for Luomen to get resummoned back into the real palace to help out with the delivery. Because he is one of the best. I hope that happens. Yeah, I'm sure this is... I've seen enough medical shows.
この子を産んだ時に比べたら大したことないわ
True. Oh. Yes.
わかりました。
Although, again, I've talked about this before, right? The one ongoing ethical dilemma I've had with Mama, speaking of her Kool-Aid, her exceptional capabilities. Again, she does, on an ongoing basis, step outside of her scope of practice and her scope of competency. But again, this law and ethics, the standards did not... Actually, no, someone said that it did exist back then. But of course, she's the MC. And this is Mama's world. We're simply living in it. But again, right, obviously, she is not an OBGYN, right? She's not a delivery lady. This is not her scope. But also through that, this shows the tremendous, unshakable foundation of trust that Lady Ryukyu has for Mama.
どう
なんとも言い難いが、可能性は高いかと思います。
Oh no.
お腹の
She already
中で
examined
向
it.
きを変えることもありますが、出産までの時間を考えると。
Oh
ど
no.
うすればいいの
花町では急や体を動かしたりすると良いと聞きます。
True?
急なら私が。
お願いするわ他の方法もないか高級の外で当たってみます
I did hear that exercises do help, right? And obviously, because my wife's a physician, I have quite a few physician friends, and some of them are OBGYN. And they do say that exercises, right? It helps with the flexibility, mobility, especially the child delivery. So I guess Mao Mao's advices are sound and scientifically accurate. Come on, summon Luomen.
逆子のままだったらどうなるのかしら
Yeah, could they do
腹を
C-section?
切ることになるかもしれません。
Yeah, C-section.
そう玉葉様
だがそうなれば血が危ない。ち
Yeah.
ゃんとした助産師がいても危険だというのに。
Yeah.
ヤブがもっとまともな医者だったら。
Come on, Luomen.
だからって代わりなんかどこにいる
Your dad, bro. Come on.
高級に入る以上玉があってはいけない。
Come on, Luomen. He's already been castrated.
もあるいかんなんて。
Yo,
いた
about time.
一人
Yeah,
最適な
about
人
time.
物が
Jeez. It's fine. Ask and you shall receive. And this is pertaining to the lives of Lady Ryukyu, the emperor's favorite concubine, and the pending birth of a potential crown prince and princess, or princess rather.
一人心当たりがあり。
Let's go! Yes!
医術
まあそんな方がまさか
Huh?
水蓮様、一体何
Yeah, why was Hongyang so terrified? And Lady Suiren must be pretty high up, and obviously she's older, so she's been around a long time.
をしたんだ。
Yeah.
どんな方なの
My adoptive father.
一度高級を追
Oh,
放され
let's go. I'm so hyped. Yes.
罪人です。
Wait, what? What? Mao. Please, someone help with Mao's EQ. Please. That's the first thing you say? Mao, please. What you're supposed to say is he's my adoptive father, an extremely skilled physician with the training of the top training from the Western and the East who was outcasted. Yes, but share the best qualities first and then the not so good attributes because you want to be honest and transparent. Who does this? He's a criminal? That's the first thing that came out of your mouth? Mao, come on. Wow. Jeez. Mao, I'm speechless. Can someone drain some of that Kool-Aid I talked about? My gosh.
られません。玉葉様と巫女の命に関わることです。信頼のおけるものでなければ。
Say he's your father.
ずいぶん大きな口を叩く。
Come on, Mama.
愛人でしょ。とてもまか。
ほにゃ、頭から。
Yeah, Mama. Paul, God, it's so frustrating. Mama. Enough said. Anyway, obviously this is a setup, right?
つけないで。
My
マ
goodness.
マも落ち着いて説明してちょうだい。
Yes. Actually, oh, this is deep. Okay, let me, speaking of wearing different hats, let me put on my psychological analysis hat. I got carried away by just how engrossing and how captivating the plots are. What Mao is actually demonstrating is she's actually panicking. Remember what I said earlier with the 4 primary fear responses, and Xiaolan froze because she was terrified of fear. What is the fear? Fear of unknown, fear of uncertainty. Most, if not all of our anxieties, if we peel back the layers, if we distill it down to the core, like I said, most, if not all of our anxieties, when we boil it down to the core, the center is fear. Because anxiety is a secondary manifestation of fear. Because fear is humans' primary emotion. Without fear, no species would survive. Without fear, humans would not have survived for this long, per evolution and so on. Mao did not articulate. And speaking of deliver the best articulation and the best persuasive pitch of resummoning and requesting the help of Luomen is because she's afraid. Mao is afraid. She's actually terrified. She's extremely anxious about the outcome of Lady Gyokyu's pregnancy with the information that she's gathered so far. She's not displaying fear because she knows if she appears to be scared, that's going to impact and worsen the fear of Lady Gyokyu and Hongyang. This is already super serious, high risky potential life and death scenario. So Mama is trying to be composed. She's maintaining her composure by trying to compartmentalize and suppressing her fear, but behaviors signal. Words do not lie. Her behavior cues of her opening her mouth with "he's a criminal" shows that she's not thinking straight. She's not thinking at the highest capacity that she has. Why? Because fear impacts and compromises our ability to be rational and logical. Remember, I've talked about before, our thinking brains goes offline the moment fear takes over and becomes hyperactive through amygdala, our executive control center, where fear and emotions are regulated. So her saying that, and my critique of her lack of EQ, I take that back. It's not her lack of EQ, but rather this is primal, this is primitive. This is her neuroscience of fear taking over.
どんな罪を犯した方なの？
Super deep.
そのものは宦官で、そしてアードー妃の巫女を取り上げています。高級を追放された理由についてはアードー妃いたわけでも確信があるわけでもない。
Also, this was never confirmed, but I wonder if Luomen was exiled to protect the secret of the child swap. I know child swap was a theory of Mama in season 1, but that would make sense, right? Only 2 types of people could keep their secrets. One who is dead, but I don't think they wanted to kill Luomen because he still successfully delivered the children despite being exiled. And more importantly, what family, what clan does Luomen belong to? Lacan's clan. So I don't think they could kill Luomen because of that background, because of the connection. So he had to be exiled. And the secret will be safe with this suspected child swap theory if woman is not in the real palace. Win-win-win.
記録はあれどただの憶測だ。
その人はマオマオとどういう
Finally, adoptive father. Come on.
養父です。
Jeez. About time.
わかったわ。その方を呼べないか人種殿に提案してみましょう。
Whew. Crisis averted. Yes.
できるならなおいいわ。
Yes.
それに悪い人だとは思えないのよ。
If you raise
野良
Mao
猫みたいな子がこれだけ懐いてるんだもん。
Yep. Look at how this stray cat. Oh.
野良猫？
でも罪人です。
ほんにゃん。あの頃の高級な話は。の知性に翻弄された方がどんなに
Reign of the Great Empress. AKA, some criminals may not indeed be criminals, but rather the judgments and the decisions of the late Empress.
だことか。
Yes.
当時の罪についてそのまま鵜呑みにはできないわ。
Amen. Again, as I owned up to earlier, I fully judge a physical hard copy book by its cover. But with humans, with us, this infinitely complex dynamic, ever emerging, I do not judge humans based on the worst attributes or single decisions we've made. Because every single one of us have made mistakes in the past that we regret. Yet we are ever changing. That's what Hongyang's saying. Or not Hongyang, that's what Lady Yokyu is saying.
わかりました。
そうとなれば早速あの子に文を書かないとね。
I have a letter to write. I think a letter is for permission and request, and I bet Lady Gyokyu is going to solicit the help of the heavens, the sky of the nation, the emperor, baby, who can overrule the decision made by the late empress, the current emperor.
6これが母になる妃というもの。
Oh, well, look at the light. She's literally glowing. Yes! Sorry, quick pause. Yes! Yes! Dreamwork, baby! I cannot believe we get to witness the dreamy combo of Luomen and Mao Mao. I didn't even know this was a dream of mine until my prediction earlier. This is so peak. This is awesome. Let's go.
お待ちしておりました。ルーメンだ。
Master Luomen, yes. Wow, the great return, baby. This is homecoming. This is in a homecoming episode. Wow. Wow. A man who looked more like an elderly woman? Wow. Maybe this is the real reason why Luomen taught Mamo to not speak on conjecture. Because Mamo is an absolute savage with her words. Jeez. I'm so hyped. Yes. Even the background music's changed. I'm so excited. Can you guys tell? I'm so excited. What a show, y'all. What a show, and what a second half to the series. P-E-A-K. Peak. Amazing. So excited.
マオマオから聞
Yes.
臨時
Aww.
雇いか。ま、だ。しようかと思ったが、その心
Nah.
配もなくてよかった。
Aww. Yo, while Luomen's here saving lives, literally Quake Doctor just cat sitting. And remember, I love Quake Doctor. Seriously, right? I say that in a loving way, right? Anyway. I mean, to be fair to Mao, from far away, from afar, Luomen does appear to be an elderly woman. Oh, Mao.
ねえ、あの人マオマオのお父さんなんだよね。
まあ。
So complicated.
たんだけど。
優しそうよね。
Yo! 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 They're just roasting.
わかる。
あなたたち。
あいや、
何を想像してたんですか？
まあ、なんて言えば。ねえ、常識人っぽくない？
Yo, it continues. The roast continues. Oh, what is this ominous music? Some crazy ass cliffhangers. Who is that? Oh, Sui Ray. Ho ho. What are you scheming, Sui Ray? What are you scheming? Ooh la la. All right, my last conjectures in honor of Luomen. Please do not judge me, Luomen. Obviously, I suspected the new eunuch is Sui Rei, so all my conjectures are in continuation of that. Sui Rei was seemingly looking at graves. And what did they just mention in passing? The deeds of the late great empress. I wonder if Sui Rei lost her family members as a collateral damage, as a casualties of the deeds of the late great empress. So I wonder everything Sui Rei's doing is not necessarily against the emperor or Jinshi or any of the current royal bloodline, but rather because of the lineage of the bloodline, because of the great late empress. So I wonder everything Sui Rei is doing, the assassination attempts, the master plan, and all that, all these different invisible spider web of strings of planning is to avenge, is simply to get back at the royal bloodline as a whole because of the late empress. I wonder if it's related. Otherwise, why did great empress was mentioned in the episode? Remember, every line serves a great purpose. Anyway, a lot more theories. Anyway, y'all, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed my yapping as usual. And yeah, just I don't understand how the show just gets to get better and better and better. Every time I'm like, all right, last episode was peak. It's gotta let loose, right? It can't live up to the last episode, but it does. And it did in a different way. What a multi-dimensional series. Masterful in every way. Anyway, y'all, as always, hope to see you next week. Until then, peace.